How we doing, Madison? Welcome, fellow graduates, family members, friends, and loved ones from around the world. My name is Prano Srivastav, and I'm the 2022 Senior Class President. Democracy, my old friend. It's my honor to welcome you to the 169th commencement ceremony here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Energy. The energy of this space, this city, and this community is magnificent. Whether it's taking a walk up State Street on a sunny blue sky Saturday, or catching a sunset at the terrace with a spotted cow, this place is like a little slice of heaven. We are the products of our environments, and Madison has had an undeniable imprint on all of our lives. The brilliance of this city is its ability to provide ambitious thinkers with an amazing energy, with the end result being a culture of rich ideas. Now, I'd like to take some time to pay homage to some of the most radiant thinkers this community has ever produced. Back in 1978, the masterminds of Leon Vargin and James Mallon catalyzed the infamous Pail and Shovel Party. From planting pink flamingos off Bascom Hill, to sinking Lady Liberty in Lake Mendota, to running around the city in our underwear, the Pail and Shovel Party has driven culture at this university for decades. Now, there's another transcendent innovator that got his start on these very grounds too. The most influential figure in modern culture, Virgil Abloh. Virgil wasn't just motivated to inspire the next generation of streetwear artists. Virgil was motivated to inspire the next generation of revolutionary thinkers, creators, and innovators. The whole world should know Virgil was here. Now, graduates, we made it. I urge you to reflect and thank the people that have made it possible for us to even be here. From me, my mother, my beautiful mother, who inspires me to dance through life with love, on my father, who sparks my curiosity to explore the world and understand how it works, to my brother, who I can thank for really my entire personality. I love you. And finally, to my friends, who you all know I consider my family. Thank you, I love you. The past 4 years have been exceedingly turbulent. I know. This was supposed to be the best time of our lives, and it was. But it wasn't what we signed up for, and I share in that frustration. The past 2 years have been some of the most revolutionary and unprecedented in the past century. Although we lost out on a lot, what we gained was a supercharged experience rooted in extreme learning beyond the classroom, far more valuable than any textbook could ever provide. The challenges facing our generation are immense. By tackling ongoing humanitarian crises like apartheid, cultural genocide, systemic inequality, and climate change, it is essential that we activate upon the Wisconsin idea to the highest degree. The world needs you now, your ideas, your energy, and your impact. To my fellow graduates, congratulations, and thank you for the experience of a lifetime. From Wisconsin to the world, always forward. Now, we have an amazing program ready for you guys. Let's keep the energy moving. Please join me in welcoming UW's premier alto and soprano a cappella group, Tangled Up in Blue, singing a mashup of Crazy by Gnarls Barkley and Crazy in Love by Queen Bee.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. Get him into you.
I remember when I lost my mind. There seemed so hesitant about that place. Even your emotions haven't taken so much space. And when you're out there without a care, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. just heard too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy?
My baby, I'm not myself. Lately I'm foolish, I don't do this. I've been playing myself. Baby, God don't care. Your love got the best of me. Baby, you're making a fool of me. You got me strong and I don't care who sees. 'Cause baby, you got me. You got me. You got me. Hey, looking crazy. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now.
Thank you. Now, Wisconsin has plenty of fans, but Provost Schultz is one of the most enthusiastic champions of UW-Madison that you can find. Carl Schultz began serving as Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs in August of 2019. Immediately prior, he served as the Dean of the UW-Madison College of Letters and Sciences for 6 years. He's the Nellie June Gray Professor of Economic Policy in the Department of Economics, which he joined in 1988. Professor Schultz writes on diverse topics, including household savings, low-wage labor markets, and financial barriers to higher education. It's my honor to welcome Provost Schultz.
Thank you, Pranav, and good afternoon, friends, family, and graduates. Welcome to Camp Randall Stadium and to the 2022 Spring Commencement at the great University of Wisconsin-Madison. Today marks a full return to our tradition of commencement at Wisconsin, complete with graduates and guests with a little bit of construction. Whether you're joining us here in person or through our live stream, we are one Badger community on this special day. Before we get into our festivities, the commencement platform includes the flags of the United States, the state of Wisconsin, and new this year, the flag of the Ho-Chunk Nation. The Ho-Chunk have lived here in Dejo, or 4 Lakes, in what we now call Madison, for time immemorial. This is an important step in UW-Madison's Our Shared Future initiative, which is an ongoing effort to educate the campus and the broader community on the Ho-Chunk Nation and the history it shares with the university. These flags are symbols of the commitment to work toward the well-being of citizens of this state, the nation, and the world. This is an especially appropriate moment for us to highlight the Ho-Chunk Nation national flag. It's our keynote speaker, serves as the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, which has declared 2022 as the beginning of the Decade of Indigenous Languages. As members of the expansive and diverse Siouan linguistic group, the remaining fluent Ho-Chunk speakers are the last of the Mississippi Valley Siouan family of languages and are dedicated to language preservation. We honor your work. With that, graduates, family members, and guests, please rise as you are able for the 2022 Spring Commencement Academic Professional, led by the class of 1972 alumna, Dorinda Cartier, a member of the Half-Century Badgers, a proud representative of all our Badgers around the world. Dorinda is escorted by the class of 2022 degree candidates Mahi Patel, carrying the Wisconsin Alumni Association flag. official party, Chancellor Rebecca Blank. Representative of the United States of America to the United Nations, Badger alum and keynote speaker, Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield. Amy Bogost, UW System Board of Regents. The indomitable senior class president, Prana Srivastava. The senior class vice president, Barney Schifferau. Senior class events director, Julia Ehlert. Senior class communications director, Sume Imam. And senior class diversity, equity, and inclusion director, Yavi Mahendra. The amazing Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Lori Resor. William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School. Rebecca Scheller, Associate Dean of the Law School. Mark Markell, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine. Robert Golden, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health. Milgard de Villiers, Associate Dean of the School of Pharmacy. Eric Wilcox, Dean of the College of Letters and Science. Ian Robertson, Dean of the College of Engineering. Beloved Samba Morthy, Dean of the Wisconsin School of Business. Scott Ovchadek, University Registrar. Catherine Vandenbosch, Dean of the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences. Diana Hess, Dean of the School of Education. Soyen Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology. Linda Scott, Dean of the School of Nursing. Charles Hoslett, Vice Chancellor for University Relations. Steve Ackerman, Vice Chancellor for Research and Graduate Education. Rob Kramer, Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration. LeVar Charleston, Chief Diversity Officer, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Diversity and Inclusion. Nancy Lynch, Vice Chancellor for Legal Affairs. Paul Robbins, Dean of the Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies. Carl Martin, Dean and Director of the Division of Extension. Guido Podesta, Vice Provost and Dean of the International Division. Jeff Russell, Vice Provost and Dean of Continuing Studies. Sarah Schutz, Chief Alumni Officer and Executive Director of the Wisconsin Alumni Association. Heather Daniels, Secretary of the Faculty. And today we are joined by faculty participating in our academic procession. Please join me in loudly welcoming all of these individuals.
remain standing and join Princess Vox, class of 2022, Bachelor of Arts, vocal performance degree candidate, in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. I didn't say, Mother, may I? All right. Princess, that was absolutely stunning. So one more round of applause. That was amazing. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Rebecca Blank, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Chancellor Blank has led this great university since 2013. She is an internationally respected economist who also spent time in Washington, D.C., working in 3 different presidential administrations, most recently as Deputy Secretary and Acting Secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce under President Obama. Chancellor Blank received her undergraduate degree in economics from the University of Minnesota and holds a... Look it, she's been a Badger for a long, long time. Everybody learns. And she holds a doctoral degree in economics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. She has served on the faculty of Princeton, Northwestern, and the University of Michigan, where she was the Dean of the Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy. As Chancellor, she has provided over a major effort to bring in talented and diverse students like you into UW-Madison and better prepare them to compete in a rapidly changing economy. She has also led an effort to strengthen the university's position as one of the world's top centers for discovery and research, while helping UW-Madison experts share knowledge and innovation with the state, the nation, and the world, what we call the Wisconsin idea. Please welcome our rock star Chancellor, Rebecca Blank.
Good afternoon, class of 2022, family and friends. It's great to see you. I am delighted to welcome those of you who are here in person and those joining on live stream to Camp Randall for the 169th Spring Commencement at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Congratulations, graduates, you have made it. Over the past 2 years, we've all had the opportunity to try out different ways to be together while being apart. And I don't know about you, but for me, there is no substitute for this, where we are really together. To the 40,000 grandparents, parents, uncles, aunts, siblings, and friends up in the stands, I see your pride and your joy, maybe a little relief at times. I know it's been a long and sometimes difficult journey. Thank you for all that you have done to bring your graduates to this moment. Let's give all of them a round of applause. You might have heard that there are 2 seasons here in Wisconsin, winter and construction. And we just exited winter, and we're smack in the middle of construction. So pardon the dust behind us. I hope you'll come back this fall and enjoy a game from our new plaza in the south end zone. And I want to give a shout out to our letters and science graduates who are up in the stands today because of the construction. I hope all of you are going to take advantage of one last chance to jump around in the student section. No other class has gotten to do that. Today, we confer almost 7,000 bachelor's, master's, and law degrees. All of you have earned the right to call yourself graduates of the University of Wisconsin in Madison, a university whose faculty and alumni include 20 Nobel Prize winners and 41 Pulitzer Prize winners, and whose discoveries and innovations continue to change the world. There is one group here I want to call out for special recognition. If you are the first in your family, the first generation of your family to earn a college degree, please stand if you are able. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Thank you. It is fitting that we celebrate today's commencement in this historic space, one of the oldest stadiums in the United States. 70,000 troops trained here to fight for the Union in the Civil War. For more than a century, this has been UW's football field and a location for commencement. And this stadium and the field house behind it have long been a favorite venue for all sorts of events, from major concerts to speeches by world leaders and great scholars, such as John Kennedy, Desmond Tutu, the Dalai Lama, and Toni Morrison, to name just a few. JFK held a campaign rally here just 2 weeks before he was elected president. He spoke at length to a crowd of about 15,000 faculty and students about the need for this nation to make good on its promises of fairness and justice and equal opportunity for all people. It was a good message for the university. For 5 generations, UW-Madison has been a place where students stand up, speak out, and work to create lasting change. A place where faculty, students, and alumni have been responsible for some of the most important achievements of the past century. That includes anti-poverty initiatives like Social Security and workers' compensation developed here at this university, the National Park System, the National Weather Service, and the creation of stem cell science, the newest frontier in the treatment and prevention of a wide variety of human diseases. The members of the class of 2022 are building on this proud legacy in many ways. You stepped up to the challenge to make this campus greener and more sustainable, leading to our largest investment in solar energy last summer. And I want to thank the senior class gift of our Green Fund, which will support the next generation of student-led projects to address climate change. Thanks to all of you who are part of that. You also embraced public service. You voted in far higher numbers than your peers at other schools, and you helped make UW-Madison one of the top schools in the nation for Peace Corps volunteers. I know some of you are out there who are going into the Peace Corps. And when a group of your classmates noticed that the historically black fraternities and sororities on this campus for 75 years had seemed pretty invisible, you worked together to make them more visible. Just 2 weeks ago, we unveiled a new monument to Black Greek life here at UW. It's called the Divine Nine Garden Plaza, and if you haven't visited yet along Campus Mall, be sure to stop by before you leave campus. Of course, you've also been part of a few traditions that are just a little bit less serious. Eating ice cream, popcorn, and brats, sometimes all at once, on the Union Terrace on the first sunny days of spring, even though it's actually 45 or 50 degrees out, because, well, there's just no place like the Terrace at any other college in America. Getting to know which number 80 bus drivers will wait for you when you're running down Observatory with a 40-pound backpack and 2 minutes to get to class. I understand the driver with the leather vest was particularly popular. Traying down Observatory Hill on a snowy winter afternoon. And families, if you're not familiar with traying, picture your student on a cafeteria tray. And no, we don't really encourage it, but it's hard to stop. And of course, you've had a chance to jump around and attend some great athletic events here at UW. You've come a long way from those first few days on campus when you were Google mapping how to get from the Lakeshore dorms to East Campus Mall and getting your nerve up to how to raise your hand in the middle of class. You have worked harder, and you've learned more than you might imagine you could have. And you've discovered new talents and interests. And if we've done our job, you will leave here with a new appreciation for your ability to contribute to something bigger than yourself. The author, activist, and UW alum Bell Hooks, who passed away in December, once wrote, "I want there to be a place in the world where people can engage in one another's differences in a way that is redemptive, full of hope and possibility. Though some days we fall short, the university strives to be that place, and our shared commitment to the Wisconsin idea helps bring us all together." I want to give a couple of shout-outs to students who have embodied this mission of public service. Lauren Azu of Detroit. Where are you? Wave your hand somewhere in that crowd. Lauren has immersed herself in work related to improving representation and combating disinformation in the media. As editor-in-chief of The Black Voice, she's mentored student writers, and as a fellow at our Center for Journalism Ethics, she was central to the Election Integrity Project. Today, she's earning bachelor's degrees in journalism and Latin American, Caribbean, and Iberian studies, and will begin an internship at the Wall Street Journal. Lauren, congratulations. Max Bobholtz of Green Bay. Wave your hand, Max. There you are. Max started a charity when he was just 12 years old called Angels at Bat that collects new and used baseball equipment and distributes it to African nations. In his time here, he worked with our law and entrepreneurship clinic to turn that charity into an official nonprofit, and it expanded into 7 other states, while he was also working in one of our COVID-19 research labs. Today, Matt receives a bachelor's degree in African Cultural Studies and Biology and plans to pursue a PhD in global or public health. Congratulations, Matt. And Joel Baraka, who came to UW as one of our King Margaret Scholars, which sends us gifted academic students from nations around the world who want to use their UW degree to address economic development and poverty in their home countries. Joel lived in a refugee camp in Uganda as a child and founded a nonprofit called My Home Stars, which now supports learning for 5,000 refugee children in Uganda, in part by using an educational board game he and a classmate developed. Today, Joel receives a bachelor's degree in civil and environmental engineering. Joel, congratulations. I began by talking about some of the people who have shared this historic space. But you might have noticed I left out one important group, our student athletes who've been bringing Badgers into Camp Randall Stadium for 105 years. That first game was against Minnesota, and yes, we trounced them, setting the tone for the next century of the Badgers against the Gophers. But let's talk about the Badger women. It is especially fitting that we honor our Badger women athletes as we approach the 50th anniversary of Title IX, the law that, among other things, gave women athletes equal opportunity to play college sports. Several student athletes from our nationally ranked teams are members of this class. Will the members of the Badger women's volleyball and women's hockey teams please stand so we can recognize you? I'm told they carry those trophies with them everywhere. Thank you for giving us some truly unforgettable seasons. In my 9 years of leading this great university, some of my most memorable moments have been with our students. You have inspired, and you've occasionally challenged me with your passion, your enthusiasm, and your curiosity. And I admit you've given me a good laugh with some of your Becky Blank memes. I particularly like this one. That was the Becky Blank pub crawl that took place last month. Somehow I wasn't invited. Wherever life takes you next, I hope you will come back and visit occasionally. We want to know how you're doing. To all of you here in person, to everyone on the live stream, from New Delhi to New York City, from Shanghai to Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and every point in between, thank you for being part of our big Badger family. Congratulations, class of 2022, and on Wisconsin! It is now my honor to introduce Amy Blumenfeld-Bogost, a member of the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents. She brought her own cheering team back there. She is here to offer greetings and congratulations on behalf of the Regents. Amy is an attorney who practices law here in Madison with a focus on civil rights, representing victims of sensitive crimes and handling federal Title IX cases. She's also deeply involved with the National Tribal College, located at the UW Law School, which is addressing the critical shortage of lawyers in the tribal court system by training laypersons to provide legal resources for tribe members. Amy has served on the Board of Regents since 2020, and she is a passionate supporter of this university. She and her husband both earned degrees here at UW, as have 2 of their 3 children. And today, their son Max makes it a perfect trifecta with a degree from the UW Law School. Congratulations, Max, and welcome, Regent Bogost. Amy.
Thank you, Chancellor Blank. On behalf of my regent colleagues and the University of Wisconsin System Interim President, Mike Falbo, I offer each of you my congratulations. It is my honor to stand before all of you today to share this very special graduation day with you. I want to tell you a story about one of my experiences as a Badger. I was an attorney working in Los Angeles in 1994. It was the year that the Badgers returned to the Rose Bowl for the first time since 1963. My excitement for the game was building as I watched the local news reports showing the many, many Wisconsin fans taking over Los Angeles. My parents had won tickets through the Rose Bowl lottery and were in town to attend the game. As we walked through the gate into the Rose Bowl, what emerged in front of my eyes was a sea of red across 3/4 of the stadium, all except for the UCLA section, and even that was peppered with red. And this was UCLA's home turf. Coach Barry Alvarez referred to the Rose Bowl Stadium as Camp Randall West, and it was. Looking at the sea of red sparked in an overwhelming feeling of belonging to this incredible community, this network of passionate people who had all shared in the Wisconsin experience. And the funny thing is, every time I retell this story to a Wisconsin alum, they all have their own story. They're walking down the sidewalk in New York City wearing a Badger sweatshirt, and a guy in a suit starts singing, "Build Me Up, Buttercup." They're hiking in Rocky Mountain National Park and pass a family, and the dad's got his Badger cap on, and they immediately strike up a conversation about their days at UW-Madison. Like my experience at the Rose Bowl, these are all illustrations of this incredible network that you are now a member of. It is a network of alumni, students, faculty, scholars, leaders, your families, and the communities that you came from and will be giving back to. You will always belong. You will always be connected. You are now and forever a Badger alum. It is unique and it is special. It is something we are all proud of. All of this is especially important today, where people are increasingly forced inward. Social media has ironically driven us away from one another instead of bringing us together as it was intended to do. And the pandemic has not helped that situation. Some of you were unable to see family during the pandemic, unable to connect with friends, and all of you had to deal with the challenges of virtual learning. But you all did it. You have earned your degree, and you did it with the support of your friends, family, mentors, or even if it was just one special person, you all did it. And now you have this incredible connection to a huge, thriving community. How lucky you all are to have earned this very well-earned, shared common experience at a top-notch education that will propel you in what may seem like a complicated world, but you have the tools to go achieve, and you always have your fellow Badgers to guide and support you. You have already shown your ability to persevere in some of the very worst of times, but now you can go out and help create the very best of times. The days have been spent on this campus are to be cherished. But look forward also to using your talents to participate actively in your communities. Keep that UW pride and continue to reach out and give back to one another, your communities, with your heart, your mind, and your everlasting Badger spirit. Thank you, congratulations, and on Wisconsin.
Thank you, Regent Bogost. At last night's commencement ceremony for doctoral candidates, we awarded 3 honorary degrees. These degrees are awarded not for the completion of a course of study, but for extraordinary contributions to society. This year's recipients are Dr. Krishna Ella, a groundbreaking vaccine scientist and leader in the global effort to eliminate the devastating effects of disease. Dr. Ernest Grant, President of the American Nurses Association, and a burn care expert known for treating victims from the 9/11 attacks. And Keith Nosbush, a visionary business executive who helped usher in the modern industrial revolution. I encourage you to read the profiles in the program of these three exceptional people. I think you will agree that they richly deserve this special recognition. I would now like to welcome Senior Class Office Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Director, Yavi Mahendra, to introduce our keynote speaker.
Good afternoon, graduates. My name is Yavi Mahendra, and I am the inaugural Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Director for the Senior Class Office. In launching the DEI position this year, our office has worked to create an environment centered in equality, peace, and justice at UW-Madison. My work is closely mirrored by that of Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield at the United Nations. She has greatly informed our learning about human rights within our own Madison community and beyond. These last few months have been extremely difficult ones as we've watched in horror the suffering and bloodshed in Ukraine and the Middle East. Our keynote speaker today sits at the very epicenter of efforts to end the war and to bring peace to the world. Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield is the representative of the United States of America to the United Nations. In that role, she assists the President of the United States and the U.S. Department of State in conducting U.S. policy at the highest levels of international diplomacy. Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield is a distinguished career diplomat, a highly regarded humanitarian, and, I'm honored to say, a Badger. She earned a master's degree in 1975 from the Center for the Study of Public Policy and Administration, the precursor to the La Follette School of Public Affairs. She also did work toward a doctorate at UW-Madison. During her graduate studies, Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield conducted political science research in Liberia. The experience solidified her desire to be a diplomat. She soon joined the U.S. Foreign Service, leading to an esteemed 35-year career that broke racial and gender barriers. Her Foreign Service career included an ambassadorship to Liberia and postings in Switzerland, Pakistan, Kenya, the Gambia, Nigeria, and Jamaica. From 2013 to 2017, she served as an Assistant Secretary for African Affairs. As someone interested in international justice myself, I'm inspired by Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield's efforts to better our relationships internationally and maintain peace for the United States. This is by no means an easy task, but seeing the success of Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield's humanitarian efforts inspires me to continue my own pursuits in my health equity career. Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield retains close ties to her alma mater and is always willing to make time for UW-Madison students. We are immensely honored that she has chosen to be here with us today and humbled to have someone of her stature offer remarks to our graduates. Please join me in welcoming Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield.
Thank you, Yavi, and thank you for getting my name correct. To Chancellor Blank, Provost Schultz, members of the Board of Regents, distinguished faculty and staff, friends, family, and alumni, and most importantly, to the University of Wisconsin, Madison, class of 2022. I cannot tell you how pleased and honored I am to be here with you in Madison. Class of 2022, congratulations. You made it. This is it. This is what you all have been waiting and working for. You're at commencement. You came from all across the country and around the world. There are over 100 nationalities represented in your class. And now, no matter where you came from, whether it was down the street or across the ocean, you got through. You made it through all of your courses, all of your exams, your summer internships and study abroad travels. You even made it through winter. You had weekday hangouts at Memorial Union and Saturdays jumping around here at Camp Randall. Early morning classes and late nights in college library, I remember those days, and maybe you spent some of your late nights at the college club. No matter what, I know it wasn't easy, not at a school as rigorous as Wisconsin. The world even threw a global pandemic at you just to keep you on your toes. But you persevered. You did what it took to get you to this day. And now you're at commencement, and you deserve to pat yourselves on the back. So give yourselves another round of applause. Class of 2022, this is your accomplishment. But you know you didn't do it by yourselves. You had professors, you had faculty and staff guiding you along the way. You had parents, family, and friends pushing you to succeed. You had the entire University of Wisconsin community at your hands. So let's also take a moment to thank all of your mentors and your friends and your loved ones who helped you to get to this special moment. So give them a hand of applause as well. So now that you've made it, you're probably asking a few questions about what's next. Like, when is this speech going to be over? So we can start our real celebration. Or something more profound, like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Sitting in this stadium, and I could see that some of you look a little tired. Maybe you're a little dehydrated from a late night of hydration. I heard some of you last night. The hot sun is baking down on you, your entire future ahead of you. You're wondering what's next, and you're probably not the most comfortable you've ever been. That's good. That's how it's supposed to be. You are all about to leave your comfort zone. Graduates, that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's about making yourselves uncomfortable. Because truth be told, coming back to this campus today, remembering my first days here, uncomfortable is one of the first words I think of. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved my Wisconsin experience. It made me who I am today, the United States Ambassador to the United Nations. But for you to understand what I mean, I need to take you back a few years. I'm going to take you back before cell phones. There was a time before cell phones, before 24-hour cable, before chasers came back. This was a time before personal computers and laptops, a truly ancient time. People were using things like typewriters. Anybody know what a typewriter is? In fact, it was before any of you graduating Badgers were even born. It really was a long time ago. 1974. I was 22 years old, and I was on an airplane for my very first time. In fact, it was my first time above the Mason-Dixie line. It was my first time leaving my home state of Louisiana at all. I didn't like being on a plane, and I still don't, by the way. I feel like people just weren't meant to go that high. I even felt it yesterday as I was flying in. But when I landed here in Madison for graduate school, I saw the stunning lakes, and Madison looked and felt like a foreign land to me. I had no family here, no friends, and most of the people were white, and I was not. Instead of my grits and gumbo, you gave me brats and cheese curds. And I'm sorry, I still don't like cheese curds. But what I did like was Rocky Rococo's pizza. And again, it was a long time ago. It was $1 a slice. And it was right on State Street. All that was quite different. And I have to tell you, again, I was very uncomfortable. Then came winter. My first. I'll never forget my first snowstorm in Madison. It was really coming down, and the wind was blowing snow everywhere. I'd never seen anything like that before. In Louisiana, one flake would come floating down, and the whole state would shut down. But it was so beautiful, and I wanted to enjoy this beautiful wonderland, but I had a class. And actually, truthfully, I thought class might have been canceled. You know, it was snowing, right? But my roommate set me straight, explained to me that a little snow never stopped anything in Madison. So I headed to class, and it wasn't just any class. It was with my mentor, the renowned Professor Crawford Young, in North Hall, all the way across campus from where I was living. And the class started at 7:30 in the morning. Do you guys even have 7:30 classes anymore? No. So I threw on my heavy Louisiana winter coat, or what I thought was a heavy coat, and some sneakers, yes, sneakers, and I started to head over. Back then, Bascom Hill, you all know Bascom Hill, wasn't a hill. It was a mountain to me. And at least it felt that way every single time. So I hiked up the hill, huffing and puffing my way to class. And as I climbed the 4 flights of stairs in North Hall, I was breathless. When I finally walked into my class, everyone heard me coming. I was heaving, I was freezing. My feet made this loud squelching sound with every step. My sneakers were filled with slush, and I was soaking wet all over. You can imagine how I felt. That's right, uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And yet, even then, shivering in my sneakers, I did not regret my choice. Maybe I regretted my clothing choices, which is why after class, I went out and bought wool socks, winter boots, a heavy, heavy Parker from Sunny Surplus. But coming to Wisconsin, that choice at that point in my life was the best decision I had ever made. Being uncomfortable here in Madison taught me how to adapt, improve, to learn. It taught me how to overcome challenges and to grow as a person. That winter, I learned to layer, and over the next few years, demanding classes sharpened my mind and my writing skills. New friends, including my first ever white friend, expanded my experiences and my horizons. And by the way, we are still friends today. And Wisconsin's tough, exacting, rigorous professors, they unlocked the world for me, literally. That same 7:30 a.m. class professor, Crawford Young, who sadly passed away in 2020, reignited a latent interest I had in Africa. He became my mentor, and he urged me to travel abroad. At his prodding in 1978, I went to do research, that time in Liberia, an actual foreign land. That was another totally new, different, and uncomfortable experience for me. Trust me, it's not pleasant riding in the back seat of a taxi with 4 other women, traveling for miles and miles on a bumpy road across the continent of Africa in 100-degree heat. But I was so inspired by my trip, I decided to join the Foreign Service and to see the world. Many years later, I would return back to serve as America's first ever female ambassador to Liberia. And it all circled back to right here, to the University of Wisconsin, when just a few years ago, I helped develop the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders Initiative, which brings the next generation of African leaders to this campus, as well as others across the US. Of course, University of Wisconsin-Madison was among the first cohort of schools selected to host the fellows and has done so ever since, and I thank you. By hosting and serving as ambassadors to future leaders in Africa and across the globe, you have made all of us so incredibly proud. So class of 2022, what I've found over the years, what I learned here in Wisconsin, in Liberia, and in every other phase of my life is that adversity, discomfort, hardship make you braver, smarter, and stronger. If you stay comfortable, if you stay in your comfort zone, sticking to what you know, then you're making a bet. You're betting that your life and the world will stay the same. But let me tell you, you're gonna lose that bet every single time. You need to prepare for change and be prepared for challenges and prepared for discomfort. You saw this for yourselves when the pandemic hit. Remember how quickly and how dramatically your lives changed. Or think of the people of Ukraine. One day they're going about their ordinary lives, just like you. The next, they're fighting. They're fighting for their lives, they're fighting for their families, for their sovereignty, for their dignity. They're fighting for democracy. They're fighting for our democracy. Trying to predict the future is impossible, but shutting yourself off from the world, trying to hide from its problems, won't serve you. Because global challenges, even those in faraway places, are going to impact you. After all, what is happening in Ukraine is not just about Ukraine. It is also about all of us. Putin felt threatened by Ukraine because it was a burgeoning democracy. And he knows that when people see freedom next door, they start asking themselves why they can't have freedom too. And that matters to us, and it should matter to you, because we're the world's most powerful example of democracy and freedom. What happens then? What happens when our own democracy is under threat? When our own foundational freedoms are undermined? What's happening in Ukraine puts a fine point on just how important it is that we cherish our own hard-won freedoms and that we take action to protect them, from voting and volunteering to marching and protesting. This is something UW-Madison knows about well, as you were in the forefront of anti-war protests in the 1960s and the 1970s when I came to this campus. And if that feels too abstract to you, considered the way Russia's war on Ukraine has affected the entire world. Ukraine was once the breadbasket for the developing world. Now Ukrainian civilians wait in bread lines, and Russian ships are blocking key ports and actively stopping food and fertilizer from leaving the country. So not only are Ukrainians going hungry now, it also makes life worse for the people and countries that relied on Ukraine and Russia for food, especially in the Middle East and in Africa. It makes desperate hunger situations even more dire, far outside Ukraine's borders. And have you noticed that the price of food and gas has gone up? You can attribute that in part to Russia's war too. This challenge comes at a moment when we are deeply concerned about the ways other conflicts and global forces like the pandemic and climate change are affecting fuel and food security around the world. Trust me, this is something I'm very focused on right now at the United Nations. In fact, next week, we're leading Days of Action on global food security, and I've invited Secretary of State Blinken to chair a meeting on this issue at the Security Council, and I encourage you all to watch. This school understands the importance of food security better than anyone. You have one of the world's leading agriculture and life sciences departments, even back when I was a student. You were on the cutting edge of promoting food production in Africa. More broadly, Wisconsin is farming country. In the same way that Ukraine was the breadbasket for the developing world, Wisconsin is at the heart of America's breadbasket. So it matters that temperatures are getting more extreme here. You might have noticed the even colder winters, the hotter summers. I don't ever recall 90-degree days in May in Madison. That completely changes the dynamics of farming here, and it affects the rest of America. It makes it harder, for example, to raise livestock like cows. And what would Wisconsin be without its dairy? So it's challenging enough environment everywhere for food already. A shortage happening because of the war in Ukraine doesn't exactly help, which brings me to my point. The world you inherit is going to throw all kinds of new, unexpected challenges your way. There's the challenge we already know about. Your generation will have to face down dictators and threats to democracy, climate catastrophes, and maybe even future pandemics. And then there are all the challenges we don't know about, the ones that aren't even on our radar yet. And we need you. We need all of you to be prepared. We need you to find solutions to these challenges, to be able to take on a world where the environment isn't always welcoming and transform it into a better, safer, and kinder place. And I know that sounds like a lot, but fortunately, you don't have to do it alone. Because when you fall down, when you lose your way, and you will on occasion, remember that you're just getting a bit uncomfortable to prepare yourself. And when it happens, you have this community, the Wisconsin community, to lean on. You have friends that you can turn to for help. You can seek out your mentors, as I did for many, many years here in Madison, and ask your role models for advice. So long as you stay true to your values and you keep faith in yourselves, you will find your way through. When one door closes, just open up another one. And ultimately, you will grow stronger. You will work your adversity muscles, and then when the next challenge comes along, you'll be able to flex those muscles. That is, as long as you've gotten out of your comfort zone. Finally, No matter how hard it gets, no matter how uncomfortable you are, I want you to remember the most important lesson that you've learned here. More important than any test, any homework assignment, any class at all. And that lesson is the lesson of kindness. Be kind. That two-word mantra, has guided me my entire career, my entire life. Whenever I was uncomfortable at Wisconsin, someone's kindness lit a path forward for me, whether they were teaching me how to layer or showing me the world. And ever since, even in the hard-nosed field of foreign diplomacy, even when we're squaring off against global adversaries, being kind has always been my best first move, always. And I know you will find the same to be true. So graduates, I am so proud of you. You are our hopes and our dreams. You still have so much to learn, but I know you're going to make a difference in this world. Before I go, I want to give you one final moment. Take it all in. Take this time to reflect on your past 4 years. Think of all the trials and the tribulations, the challenges you faced, the hills you had to climb, like Bascom Hill. So this morning, I got up at 6 a.m. and I walked up that hill. Now, I remember when I was 22, when I was 22, I huffed and puffed up that hill. This morning, it wasn't even a challenge. I was prepared. So that hill that seemed like a mountain was just a little bump in the road. Trudging up it every day was a true challenge. So I promise you, the moment you turn your tassels, you're going to feel this moment. You can go up any hill. You can climb any mountain. You can take on the world. You are ready. This is your time. Now get out there and make us proud. Congratulations, Madison.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. It is now time for the conferral of our law and graduate degrees. I call upon Rebecca Scheller, Associate Dean of the Law School.
Candidates for the degrees Juris Doctor and Master of Laws will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Associate Dean Scheller.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses in law. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the law school, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the law school, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on you the degree Juris Doctor or Master of Laws. Please join me in recognizing the achievements of our law degree candidates. Candidates may be seated. I now call upon William Karpus, Dean of the Graduate School, who will present the candidates for graduate degrees.
Candidates for graduate degrees will please rise as you are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Karpus.
On the recommendation of the graduate faculty, I present these candidates for graduate degrees in their respective fields: Educational Specialist, Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Engineering, Master of International Public Affairs, Master of Music, Master of Professional French Studies, Master of Public Affairs, Master of Science, and Master of Social Work. These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses in graduate studies. Upon the recommendation of the graduate faculty, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the graduate school and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, you will be admitted to the appropriate graduate degree. Please join me in recognizing the achievements of all of these graduate degree candidates. You may be seated.
Our student speaker today is a wonderful example of an undergraduate who seized every opportunity available to him on campus and gave so much back in return. Barney Schifferau grew up. Barney's got a lot of people in the house today. Grew up in Wausau, Wisconsin, and is earning a bachelor's degree today in biology. He will be attending medical school in the fall. Barney is vice president of the senior class, serving alongside his best friend Pranav, the senior class president. Barney, a Marcel J. Lee scholar, has been heavily involved in public service on campus and in the community, including serving as a health coach at one of our local medical centers. He's done terrific work with our Bucky's Classroom program, which sends UW-Madison students into middle schools across the state to talk about college preparation and becoming a Badger. Barney has taken his studies here extremely seriously, but he's also found plenty of time to have fun, and we encourage that too. Along with Pranav, he's resurrected the Pail and Shovel Party, which historically has been known for its campus pranks and entertaining antics. Last month, the newly revived Pail and Shovel Party sponsored an undie run on campus where students ran down Bascom Hill in just their underwear and at the same time donated more than 500 articles of clothing to charity. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Barney Schifferau, who will provide remarks on behalf of the graduates.
I've heard many times that the best way to overcome the fear of public speaking is to just imagine the audience naked. But now that I'm up here, it just feels kind of awkward. Kind of like that feeling when you see your class crush without a mask for the first time, and they no longer remain your class crush. Too soon? What can you do? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UW-Madison Spring 22 Commencement. My name is Barney Schifferau. Some of you may know me, some of you may know of me, and to others I may be a stranger. But let's take the focus off me for a second. Today is a great day because it's a celebration of us, the graduates. However, for many of us, this celebration comes with mixed feelings. In the past few days, there have been a lot of lasts. The last class, the last test, the last day out on the terrace, the last night out on the town. And I'm not going to lie, it's a bittersweet feeling. But that feeling means something. It's a testament to the place this university holds in each and every one of our hearts. However, as we leave here today, we will be facing many firsts. The first day of grad school, the first day on the new job, and for many of us, the first day in a new city with new friends and new opportunities. And although it's bittersweet, I am so happy to be graduating with you all today. When I think about what we've been through as a class, it is truly remarkable. We've gone through a polar vortex, a pandemic, an outgoing beloved chancellor, and even a few blackouts. Through all the chaos we've been through, we have had our unifying moments. Like the night we all gathered as one to watch our women's volleyball team win their first national championship in our school's history. And only a few months later, when the city of Madison erupted, as our men's basketball team won the Big Ten championship off an improbable shot from the man with the second best afro in Madison, my good friend Chucky Hepburn. A fitting close to the basketball season and Brad Davison's 75th and final year of eligibility. As I reflect on my cherished time at the UW-Madison, I realize how likely it could have been for me to never step foot onto this campus, this state, or even this country. And here's why. I was born in Ethiopia and moved to Wisconsin as a young child. My upbringing and childhood are painfully different from that of my peers. It is hard to put into words what my experience has been like, so I'm going to use numbers to help paint a better picture. 0.45%. Those were the odds for my family to win a green card and have the opportunity to move to the United States. Now, if your bookie told you those were the odds of you winning your bet, you'd probably tell him to get lost. But what if you couldn't tell him to get lost? What if betting it all on that 0.45% was the best chance you'd ever get? What if 0.45% was the only way to a life bigger and better than you could ever imagine? What if refusing to take a chance is the only reason that you're not living out your dream life right now? Looking back on that statistical miracle, I thank God every day that He has carried me to this point and that my family took that chance. So Mom and Dad, thank you for taking that chance. You are the reason I've been able to enjoy this journey and the reason I'm on this stage today. I love you. And through my journey, I have realized that although life isn't fair, it does give you chances. And that is something I want to challenge you all with today. Taking a chance. For some of you, life at UW has been a walk in the park. Finances were never something to consider. Friends were abundant. Your internship gave you a full-time offer, and you're going to work your dream job in your dream city. For others, the path is not that clear. Plan A turned to Plan B, and Plan B may slowly be turning into Plan C. But what's the hurry? Why do we have to decide today what we will do tomorrow, or for the rest of our lives? Good things take time, so don't rush it. But you only get one life. So if there's something out there that you want, go after it. I challenge you to take the chance. Make that phone call. Apply to your dream program. Connect with that mentor who said, reach out if you need anything. Take the chance. Bet on yourself and believe in yourself, because nothing is more powerful than the confidence that comes from knowing your value. And leaving here today as a Wisconsin graduate, you have incredible value. You will join hundreds of thousands of Wisconsin alumni around the world who are doing amazing things. I don't have to read some award or poll that lists Wisconsin as #1 in whatever category because we've lived through it firsthand. We understand the Wisconsin culture, the education, the camaraderie, and what it means to be a Badger, today and into the future. So, to the class of 2022, I urge you to reflect on your time at UW, celebrate your accomplishments, and take a chance as we embrace the future. Thank you, congratulations, and on Wisconsin.
Hello, graduates and guests. My name is Julia Ehlert, and I am the Events Director for the Senior Class Office. I am honored to be here today to welcome you on behalf of the Wisconsin Alumni Association. I am so proud to be a member of this graduating class and to witness how each of us have grown throughout our education. My time at this university has shaped me into the student, professional, daughter, and friend in front of you today. We have each held many identities during our time at UW-Madison, and today we cross the threshold from students to alumni. It's an identity that is ours for the rest of our lives, connecting us to each other, to the generations that have come before and the generations yet to come. As of today, the Wisconsin Alumni Association is no longer for other people. Now it's for us, for the artists, the scientists, the creators, the fighters, the peacemakers, the protectors, the leaders, the Badgers.
You are a Badger. Everything you are has brought you to this day. You are a reflection of your outer experiences and your inner spark. You are the embodiment of the things you've done and the things you've yet to do. So keep being you, and whatever comes next, we'll be here. Welcome to Alumnihood.
At this point in our program, I'm pleased to acknowledge those bachelor's degree candidates who have distinguished themselves scholastically by ranking in the top 20% of their school or college, or by participating in the honors program. These students are attired with honor stoles, solid cardinal red or white with red chevrons. I would like these students to stand as you are able and ask that you join me in recognizing their achievements. Candidates may be seated.
Now for the conferral of bachelor's degrees. I call upon Catherine Vandenbush, Dean of the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Vandenbosch.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science Agricultural Business Management, Bachelor of Science Biological Systems Engineering, and Bachelor of Science Nutrition and Dietetics. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Vlab Samba Murphy, Dean of the Wisconsin School of Business.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Wisconsin School of Business will please rise as they're able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Samba Murphy.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the Wisconsin School of Business, I present these candidates for the degree Bachelor of Business, Business Administration. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Diana Hess, Dean of the School of Education.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Education will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Hess.
On the recommendation of the School of Education faculty, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science Art, Bachelor of Science Art Education, Bachelor of Science Athletic Training, Bachelor of Science Dance, Bachelor of Science Education, Bachelor of Science Education Studies, Bachelor of Science Health Promotion and Health Equity, Bachelor of Science Kinesiology, Bachelor of Science Physical Education, Bachelor of Science Rehabilitation Psychology, and Bachelor of Science Theater and Drama. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Ian Robertson, Dean of the College of Engineering.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Engineering will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Robertson.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Naval Science, Bachelor of Science Biomedical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Chemical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science Computer Engineering, Bachelor of Science Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Engineering Mechanics, Bachelor of Science Engineering Physics, Bachelor of Science Geological Engineering, Bachelor of Science Industrial Engineering, Bachelor of Science Material Science and Engineering, Bachelor of Science Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Nuclear Engineering. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Soyan Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Human Ecology will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Shim.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Human Ecology, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Science, Community and Nonprofit Leadership, Bachelor of Science, Consumer Behavior and Marketplace Studies, Bachelor of Science, Human Development and Family Studies, Bachelor of Science, Interior Architecture, Bachelor of Science, Personal Finance, Bachelor of Science, Textiles and Fashion Design. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Eric Wilcox, Dean of the College of Letters and Sciences.
Candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Letters and Science will please rise as they are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Wilcox.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Letters and Science, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts Journalism, Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science Applied Mathematics, Engineering, and Physics, Bachelor of Science Journalism, Bachelor of Social Work. Candidates may be seated.
I now call upon Linda Scott, Dean of the School of Nursing.
Candidates for a bachelor's degree in the School of Nursing will please rise as you are able. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Scott.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Nursing, I present these candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Candidates, please be seated.
I now call upon Mel Villiers, Senior Associate Dean for the School of Pharmacy.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree in the School of Pharmacy, please rise if you are able. Chancellor Blank.
Associate Dean Del Villiers.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Pharmacy, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Sciences, Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Bachelor of Sciences, Pharmacology and Toxicology. Candidates may be seated.
At this time, I invite all of our bachelor degree candidates to rise as you are able for the conferral of degrees. On the recommendation of the faculty and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, you will be admitted to the bachelor's degree appropriate to the courses you have completed. Congratulations to each of you. Class of 2022, you've arrived at an important milestone, the moment when you transition from being a student to an alum. Tradition dictates that before the degree conferral, candidates will wear their tassel on the right side of their mortarboard. After commencement, to symbolize your new status as graduates, your tassel is worn on the left. Graduates, please move your tassels. Candidates may be seated. Congratulations to all of our graduates. Thank you to all of the family members and friends whose support and encouragement has made this proud day possible. Best wishes to each and every one of you, and on Wisconsin! To conclude our celebration today, please join the UW-Madison student a cappella group, the Mad Hatters, in the singing of our alma mater, Varsity.
Varsity, varsity, you rah-rah Wisconsin. Praise to thee, we say. Praise to thee, our alma mater. You rah-rah Wisconsin. Amen.